Welcome to the briefing for Compulsory ICE Task 1, which you can find in your POE document. So this ICE task is related to Learning Unit 1, where we looked at problem solving. You need to engage in a problem solving question set at about a grade 7 level, and then you need to follow the instructions in order to complete this ICE task. So you need to solve this problem, but it is not too challenging because the main focus is going to be on your thinking. So the thought processes that you go through as you solve this problem. So I recommend that you put yourself in the shoes of a grade 7 learner and you approach this problem in the way that they would approach it. So the problem that we need to solve is to find the smallest positive integer that must be added to 2010 to obtain a perfect square, a square of an integer. And then we've got our options, which makes it a bit easier for you as well, having the multiple choice options. So if we go back to Poilier's 4 steps, we will remember that step 1 was to understand the problem. So that was quite a mouthful. Let's break up the different instructions or the different terminologies. Firstly, we need to find the smallest positive integer to add to that number in order to find a perfect square. Remember, an integer is part of our number system on the number line that can be either a positive whole number or a negative whole number. So anything before 0, including 0 and after 0. But in this case, we're looking at positive integers only, so whole numbers that are positive. And what is the smallest number that would need to be added to 2010? So we want to create a total number that is bigger than 2010 because we need to add to it. And that number that we get from adding a positive integer needs to be a perfect square. So what does a perfect square mean? A square number is the answer to a multiplication sum where you've got a number times by itself that will give you a square. So for example, the number 4 is a perfect square because 2 times 2 would equal to 4. The number 25 is a perfect square because 5 times 5 is equal to 25. So we need to use our knowledge of a perfect square number. We need to find a number greater than 2010. And if we have a certain number multiplied by itself, it will give us this answer that we got. Okay, so we've now understood the problem. We've understood the different aspects. And we have only got 4 options. So what strategy would you use to solve this problem? If we continue with Poilier's strategies or steps, we would need to now devise a plan. So what strategy are we going to use? We're going to carry out the plan and we're going to look back and revise what worked, what didn't work. Does this solve the problem or do I need to try again? So keep that in mind as you work through the problem. And you might remember your teachers in school saying, show your working out. Well, it's part of the ICE task to show your working out. So question 1, or the first part of the ICE task, is to solve the problem, taking careful note of your thought processes that you followed. You need to write down all your working out, all your rough work. So you are showing on paper your thought processes, even if it doesn't get you to the correct answer. And then the second part and the main part of this POE is to write a reflection on this process. So your reflection needs to be on how you got to your answer. And part of this reflection needs to include you describing your logic. So what was your thinking? What was your thought process? Why did you start going through this strategy? What did you do? What made you decide on that strategy? And then you can reflect on which strategies were not useful, what didn't work, and what did work well. And also, what are some of the challenges that you faced as you went through this process? So all of these aspects need to be addressed in your 1.5-page reflection. So by the end, you need to have your 1.5-page reflection that you've typed out. And I would like you to include your working out as well. So whether you scan it or take a photograph of your working out on a rough piece of paper, I would like this to be in addition to your 1.5-page reflection. And you can save the whole document as a PDF with your name, surname, and student number, and your lecturer will show you where to upload it onto Learn. All the best with this activity. Enjoy it, have fun, and I look forward to reading and marking your ICE tasks.